made it. He's here. I'm so sorry I'm late, guys. I'll tell you why in a second. Hi, everybody. This is Levi Clay, and I am back again. I'm back again to do another live transcribing stream. And of course, I have to set the challenges for myself. I have to transcribe the hardest of stuff. But ultimately, when it comes to doing these live transcriptions, I'm all about transcribing the things that I think are cool, the things that excite me, not just the things that excite you. And of course, sometimes you will see that I do streams of things that probably don't appeal to you. Like, I always do things that appeal to me. So you see me transcribing Joey DeFrancesco, organ solo stuff in recent months. And I know that doesn't appeal to everybody, but unfortunately it does appeal to me. Today we are going to be looking at Guthrie Govan's recent live performance with Zach Barrett down south on Essex Recording Studios YouTube channel. We're going to be looking at his slide solo on Have a Talk with God, which is a wonderful tune. We can talk about the tune. Obviously, we're going to talk about the changes on the tune. We get to talk about slide guitar, all that good stuff. I am... That's just Osnoise Jelly Blue. That's not that bad. So I'll give you a rundown. Sorry I'm late. Like I say, I was out in Glasgow. Melissa, my partner, she does comedy now. She wrote a comedy show, and we were doing one of her comedy shows, which went over really well because she's very talented, and she plays guitar and piano and sings songs and makes people laugh, and it's great. But of course, when it's your show, when you're in charge of everything, sometimes that means that you have to hang around and talk to people afterwards who had such a great time and want to talk to you. So we got stuck a little longer than I was expecting to be. She's going to run through this door in a second and give me some chips because I've not eaten since breakfast time. My brain's probably not in the right space to be doing this live transcription now, but I'm sure we'll be absolutely fine. I have a second camera set up, and I also have a guitar here. I've not even considered trying this guitar, but we'll see how it sounds. I'm using my Strat. Let's check second camera, actually. I'll get my phone. Any questions about this, of course, please do let me know. Let's try that. We're a little bit out of focus. If I move like that, we're not too bad. Oh, that is not the sound we want, is it? Check them in tune and all that good stuff. Yeah, so I hadn't really put much thought into what I was going to be using for this stream, so such is life. We'll manage. We'll get there. I thought I was going to be home well in time, but here we are. That should do. I'll get a strap for the guitar. That'll probably help. Yeah, my friend over at North Guitars. Sorry, I should say friends, because you're a company now. What am I doing? I'm doing this. Strap. Because straps help. Do I still have my red Vigier? Well, if you were watching my weekly guided practice routines, you would have seen it last week, and you'll see it this week, or... That was me literally just taking the strap off it to put on this. So yeah, still have my red Vigier. Absolutely love my red Vigier. Speaking of weekly guided practice routines, this stream is brought to you by my wonderful supporters over on Patreon. I do need to update that list, actually. Thank you so much for all of your kindness, generosity, and support, guys. There is a link in the description if you want to go and check out my Patreon page. You can support me over there for as little as $1. At the $5 tier, you get access to the weekly guided, the transcription challenge. You can download all the transcriptions I upload, including this one. $10 tier, you can get access to my weekly guided ear training sessions. $20 gets you access to my weekly guided practice routines. And you can't get a $50. They're all sold out. They're always sold out. I could be wrong. One may have come up. If that doesn't suit you, can also check out one of my books. I have lots available on Amazon. I have a new one coming towards the end of the month. So, yeah, of course it's Phil. Yeah, so consider checking checking the book out. And like I say, towards the end of the month, we're going to have a new book. And I'm sure you're going to find something you will enjoy in there. So, don't like the sound at all. Okay, it's because there's no reverb on it at all. Let's get some. Let's try and make this sound a little bit more acceptable. It's one of those weird tones that's just like super fizzy on the top, but also doesn't feel like it has enough drive. Definitely getting something usable there. Here come my chips. Oh, thank you. Look at that. I got some beautiful chips. I've not got the space or time for ketchup. Delicious chips. Does anyone want to see me eat sausage in a very seductive way? What are you laughing at? Get out of here. Yeah, it's crazy what a bit of reverb can do. It really brings your sound to life. And I like it. Let's have another listen. Once just a little bit of delay. Okay, cool. Let's take a look at this song then. So, as I say, this is the song is "Have a Talk with God," which is a Stevie Wonder tune. Beautiful song. I really like this song, and Zach and Guthrie have been playing this tune for a long time. Like, it feels silly to say it's a Stevie Wonder tune and then add the qualifier that it's beautiful. Like, of course it is. It's a Stevie Wonder tune. That's how that kind of works. Where have you gone? I've lost you. Got ya. Okay. Just trying to find you bitches. Do this. There you go. Still see your live chat. Awesome. So let me bring up the screen. Let's do this. I'll move me over here because I'm prepared. Put Guthrie down here. So now I'm gonna mark this out, okay? So I need to put the beats in. And then we'll talk about the harmony, then we'll talk about transcribing slide and all of that good stuff. So here we go. Great player. He's just too good. Woo! Okay, we're not going to go any further than that. So, yeah, this is Have a Talk with God, as I say, Stevie Wonder tune. And, of course, we need to talk briefly about the harmony, which is really important. Because, of course, when we know the chords, that's going to tell us, or certainly give us a good idea of what someone's likely to play over it. So when you listen to this tune, very bluesy, right, like a blues tune, soul tune, gospel tune. It's a little bit darker in the final chords, but at its core, we've got now. Although I'm playing lots of chords in my right hand, we're just thinking A flat. Okay, it's like an A flat vamp. So this is like A flat. And if you listen to it, that's the basic groove. There is a chord change. We'll talk about that. So we could just sit on that sort of amp and get a feel for that. Of course, that's me playing some piano there. Double check that's coming through okay. A flat major is going to be our basic sound. So we sit on that A flat chord. We'll think of that as being our 1 chord. Of course, link in the description to Pianote if you want to learn to play the piano. I've learned to play piano in the last 2 years, and it's really helped with my overall understanding, visualization of harmony, because funnily enough, stuff like that's much harder to get the sound of on the guitar. You can do it very quickly on the piano. So we're on this A flat chord. This is our 1 chord. We're going to drop down to the 4 chord, D flat. So it's really bluesy in that sense. The 1 chord, going to the 4 chord, 1 chord, and then the thing that, well, I'm not going to necessarily say it makes the song interesting, but we then jump up to the B flat minor 7. And we go to the 5 chord, E flat. Now I'm playing like a 7 sus sound there. Of course, you could play things like which is like an altered chord, a 7 sharp 9. But at its core, just playing those chords is going to get us by A flat major. In fact, I'll tell you what, I'll play along with Guthrie. Let's find the about here. So here, A flat, right? Here. Still A flat. D flat. B flat minor. hear requests for this. It's not asking a lot at all. So if I play through that progression. In there somewhere. So yeah, that's our basic harmony, and I think it's really important that we can hear that. And one of the things that I'm often this is an ear training thing, right? One of the things I'm often encouraging my students to do is we want to be able to hear the melody in relation to the chord changes, and so it's great to do two things. It's great to both play the melody and sing the bass note movement, the root movement, and it's really good to play the chords and sing the melody. So So hearing the harmony like that will help. It means that when we're transcribing these things, the melodies that we're transcribing, the melodies that we're transcribing will make more sense. Does that make sense? Does that help in any way? Hopefully that helps you in some way, shape, or form. Any questions about this thus far? Oh, and of course, please do share this stream. I was too busy beforehand that I didn't get the chance to, prepare by telling people that the stream was happening. Let's do this, bitches! So, let's do it like this. Let's do just guitar. You're in my piano. Get in there. Where's the slide? There we go. There's always slides around here somewhere. So when it comes to transcribing slides, Guthrie obviously plays with the slide on his little finger. I have a slide that I use for that when I'm using the slide on the little finger, but I'll always primarily be a slide on the third finger kind of guy. If slide's new to you, I'll give you a 2-minute rundown. Very simple in nature. We're using something hard like a slide, and it's acting like a fret. So when we press the string down, all we're doing is the string is going down, it's making contact with the fret, and that is stopping the string from vibrating this side, but it's vibrating from that fret to the bridge. The distance is shorter, so it vibrates faster, we have a higher pitch. The slide does the same thing, but the slide is now the fret. So I can place the slide over the 12th fret. I'm pressing it down, but not down to the point that it touches the neck. And of course that means that my slide, I'm going to call it my fret is now movable. Now, of course, if you want much more detail on slide, I have books on slide guitar. I've got a compilation on slide guitar, so feel free to dig into that if you want to learn a bunch more about slide. But when it comes to transcribing slide, it can be a bit of a nightmare. Of course it can be a bit of a nightmare, because the nature of slide is that things are going to be microtonal. So sometimes that can just mean... So sometimes things are going to be microtonal. What I prefer to do when I'm notating slide is I'm going to notate as though I'm fretting things. But those microtonal tweaks, when we're pushing notes sharp, I would treat them exactly the same as if I was bending a note on the guitar. So just if I were to go on a slide, so sometimes I'm going to notate things as a slide, but when I go for this 13th fret on the B string, I'm not although obviously I'm using a slide in order to get that microtonal thing. I'm thinking of it as a microtonal raising pitch. So in my transcription, I'd use a bend for that. I think that's the best kind of way to do that. If you're unfamiliar with slide, learn to play it. It's beautiful. This is actually the first time I think I've played slide on my Strat. So that's our basic idea. Now when it comes to transcribing this, for the most part I'm not really going to use my guitar, but it's here if we want to reference things, and of course it reminds you the reason why we're doing this. When we transcribe things, we're looking to learn, right? We're looking to steal vocabulary. We're looking to understand why a player sounds the way they do. Why does Guthrie sound the way he does? And the best way to really understand that is to start really looking at his vocabulary, and internalizing it. Yeah, it really is about internalizing it. So I'll just give you a quick outside example. It's not really a slide lick, but one of my favourite players is Jimmy Herring. Fabulous player. And Jimmy does a lot of slide imitation playing without using a slide. So when I listen to him play and I hear him go... Hearing that, it's not slide, but it's a slide imitation. Now, I could listen to someone's playing forever and not necessarily be able to internalize phrases like that. So by transcribing what they do, helps me to start to bring their phrasing into my playing. And that's how I've stolen lots of people's identities. And of course, you're never going to do it as well as the original person. That's not the idea. Eventually, like I would think it would be fair to say, I don't really sound like Jimmy Herring. I'm a product of my influences. I'm a product of the players that I've listened to. I'm a product of the players that I've transcribed. So there are things that I've taken from Jimmy. Here's a Jimmy Herring lick on this. But I'm using the phrase in with my own normal, my own, my other influences. That comes together to help you form your sound. So let's take a look at what Guthrie's doing here. And I always say the same thing, right? You have to be able to sing what it is that the person is playing. When I think to... recently I put a video up of me playing the organ solo on No Guns from Corey Henry. And when I think of that song, sure, I did notate it, but for me to be able to play it, I have to be able to think of what the melody is. Where's it go? Oh, to the root. Now, I'm making the mistakes in there, but the point is, how do I know what a mistake is? Well, I'm referencing it to the sound that I'm hearing in my head. I'm referencing it to the song. So when I transcribed that, I was like, oh, it's going to be a real nightmare to learn all of this. So I had to sit and sing it. I had to be able to sing it in my head, sing it out loud, before I could really internalise the phrasing, before I could really play it. So when we listen to this phrase that Guthrie plays here, my voice is crapping out. Now, my pitching awful, but not the point. I've started to internalise the phrase. Then we can start to think about where that happens. Ba 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 da da. Ma 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 helps me to understand the phrase. Now, when we slow it down, now if I was to simplify that, ba 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 da ba, that's the phrase in my mind. Da ba ba. Where's that fall? 1, 2, can't click apparently. 1, 2, So it's the and of 2, the and of 3, and the and of 4. Let's find it. What pitches do we play? Slide in. Next note is just the note. Slide in, note. And then that final one is a note and then slide into the pitch. Now we find our pitches. Now, of course, we could go, we know we're playing in A flat. So we can, based on that, oh, what's that on my slide? Just, let me double check the string. So 1, 2. You bring some of that treble off this. That's our phrase, right? So let's write that. 1, 2, slide into this note. Need to turn that gain down because it's disgusting. And I think that's the sort of thing that makes Guthrie a great player. When we hear that phrase, it's memorable. Ba 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 ba. It's a phrase. It's singable. We'll deal with accidentals. Now these sorts of things, you could notate that, right? We could go. I think it's kind of important. But the pitching on it would never be spot on. But we should. What I'm getting at is I don't want to notate something like that as vibrato, because it's definitely more deliberate than that. And another good way of thinking about it is the slide, by the nature of slide, right? You float over the beat, you've got all the microtonal stuff, but we just want to ask ourselves, if we were to play this on an instrument that couldn't do that, like on the piano. How would we do it? On the guitar, I'm going to go without the bending and with that slide. I'm going to go 1, 2. That's how I'm phrasing that. Stop doing that. The other thing to consider with this, if you've watched this performance, you'll know that Guthrie is using a volume pedal throughout this, which allows him to get these really cool swells into notes. And we can put those in Guitar Pro, of course. So I could use the wee hairpin, the fade in. He does it at the start. If you listen closely. This first note, there's like a volume swell on that, which is cool. It's expressive, right? Now that's vibrato, right? And this is like, I always think this is Derek Trucks. So we get to this 9th fret, which is the root note. We've got this beautiful wide slide vibrato on it. In fact, what I'm going to do for this, I'm going to do wide vibrato like that. We sit on that, and then in the beat, the second, we're going to go from our root and this is something that's almost impossible to pick up. I'll give you a tip for you slide players out there, for those of you that are wanting to dip your feet in the world of slide, right? The best thing you can do to make your slide playing sound like really vocal, really expressive, is we know pitch-wise on the piano, if we were going to write this, we would be going... So we're on the A flat, and we're sliding up. But a slide player wouldn't do that. A slide player wouldn't go... On slide, you want to do this. You notice what I'm doing there? I'm dropping and then sliding up. Versus... That helps. That makes your phrasing come alive. But here's the thing. I wouldn't notate that. I don't want to put these little drop down slides, because then your notation ends up getting so busy that you couldn't really interpret it. And this is the good notation is about cueing the player what they're supposed to play, but you should have confidence that the player that's playing it is going to make that thing sound expressive, make it sound like their instrument should sound. When we put vibrato on sheet music, we don't literally very accurately say, well, I want you to oscillate the pitch this fast, and I want it to be this wide. Like, you don't do that. You leave that to the player, because the player knows what they're doing. The player knows how to make their instrument sound good. Those chips are cold now. So, and I'd put the bend on that. He's really doing a half step, which you could do. Chord change here. Oh, we're on the D flat there. Where did the D flat happen? This is our D flat. I'm actually going to put 2 empty bars at the start of this, because that's where the chord progression starts. And I think being able to see that helps, because it is worth considering. Guthrie, his solo starts here. He might play his first note here, but the solo starts here. That's where his turn to solo is. He could play things in this bar, but he chooses not to. He's letting the song breathe, and he's coming in and playing when best suits him, when he wants to express something, when he wants to play an idea. So... You coming there? Back to our A flat. So. Space. 2 beats. 1 2 1 2 Again, there's a volume swell and he slides into the note, which is beautiful. We're jumping up to. Is he? Check his string. He's over onto the high E string here, which is, I always describe it as the danger zone for slide. You got to be a real fucking expert on slide to get the sustained notes on that high E string. Real fucking expert. It's so easy for them to just die in volume. Cold chips qualifiers, that's fantastic. How do cold sausages factor in? Same again here. We go ba-da-da. But that note that we're going to, ba-da, we are dropping below it and sliding up into it, because it always sounds more natural to slide up into a note than it does to just slide down from it. It's very like a vocal volume. Now here I am choosing to notate it. You don't need to though. I'm just checking strings for this. He's really on that high E string a lot there. Now this is a good example of where you just can't rely on notation. This would be an example of where I would use a bend. This one I'm going to put a slide down in because I can, why not? Up to that flat 7. Yep. Ba ba ya ba, but there's the bluesiness there. Ba 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 ya ba 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 ya ba. So you get this. What am I doing? Ba, ba, ya. But that note is pushed with a bend as we slide up to. Ba ba ba. Up to the root. Ma ma ma. Ma ma ma. And then jumping up. Oh, whoops. Stop getting carried away and playing. I'm having too much fun. So this is him walking towards the B flat note. Fucking noise from single coils. Now something like this highlights how difficult playing slide in standard tuning is. And all these things like this muted note that I'm choosing to put here, this is like to help you phrase it. Ma ma ma, ma na na, ba da bois. Sing everything you transcribe. How am I doing? There was a comment here on I'm working like a demon on relative pitch. Transcribing looks like an amazing way to be able. Yeah, transcription is the way for you to develop your ear. That's cool. You can put some analysis into this, right? If we look at this, what is he playing? We look at this and go, what does this look like? This is an A flat 7. Over the B flat. But he's phrasing with A flat 7. Now this is where pitching is not a thing. So we're super approximating here. We're going for we can go with that. This is totally learnable. There's nothing he's played here that you couldn't play. I was going to say there's nothing exceptional about what he's playing. There is. He's phrasing like an absolute motherfucker, you know? But from a technical perspective, he's not playing things you couldn't play. He's just good at phrasing things in a human way. All the way up there? I think he is. Yeah, he's just playing A flat up at the really high up E shape. Now we're getting into truxisms. So you got this rake. Mama. Now with stuff like this, it's really tricky to decide how you want to write something like this. I'm going to go with this. So you get that raking feel, or at least almost. Guitar Pro doing a Guitar Pro here and looking like shit, of course. I bring... Yeah. Because the grace notes are always spaced the way the grace notes are always spaced. You can't change that. You can change the notes around it, but you can't change the grace notes. So you need to just make space for the grace notes. Now obviously that is infinitely better than it would have looked in old Guitar Pro, so I'll settle for it. Thanks very much. Yeah, I'll put a double flat in there. Mama, mama. Where's he playing? Is he doing it there? Up into that flat 7. Winner takes it all. The winner takes it all. This is one of those nice examples where he just pushes the note sharp. It's under my face. Now we switch. I put a note in here to say fretted, which of course means up here I need to put slide. This is telling you switched over to the fret, the fretting, and then I'll indicate when it goes back to slide. Back to the slide. Of course, this gets you into like really tricky territory when you start talking about, guys that fret behind the slide. How much do we want to indicate stuff like this? What are we putting here? For some transcriptions in the past, I've opted to use like brackets around notes to tell you when they're fretted. There's no good way to do it, there's just no good way to indicate it for sure. You could maybe, in Guitar Pro, because we have slap, tap and pop, you could maybe, I wouldn't want to use S, because S to me says slide, right? I could use P for pop, but of course, what does P mean? It doesn't stand for anything. I could use T for tap, but what could it mean? What we really want is F for fretted. So yeah, we work with what we have though. Bit noisy here, right? The problem with putting F in the text above it, you can do it, like absolutely you can do it. It's just if you look at this here, when I put T in, it shows above the tab, and that's where I would want it to be. If I just do this, like it, it's there, but it's not. I guess it's better than nothing, but it's not what I'm really going for vibe-wise. It's not a case of what it means, it's the location of it. Now, I do hope none of you were expecting me to transcribe this whole thing. I'll do a little bit more. So A flat, D flat, we're back to our A flat here. Then we jump to our B flat. Guthrie's playing like a B flat minor 11 there. E flat 7 sus. A flat, and is he putting a 5 chord at the end of this? Yes, this is like E flat 7 sharp 9. Even messier when you start putting chords in there, right? I think that's where he plays that, right? Okay, so let's see how we sound. Now, of course, one thing I haven't done... oh, don't knock my can of juice over. I'll die. Anyone spot what I haven't done from the transcription yet? Other than put a tempo in? .151. It's really 151.6. You can now do that in Guitar Pro, which is nice. So what's this missing? What's it missing? Why when I press play on this will it not sound right? Any answer? Very easy. This tune doesn't play like this. It's hard for me to even do it the wrong way. It's... B flat minor. That's hard to do. Apparently I'm not a piano player. So it's swung. So we want to put that swing marker in there. Really important. So let's see if we can play along with Guthrie. See what happens. I'll just come in there. So we're going to go... It's actually a little bit faster. The other problem you have in Guitar Pro is, see this slide that that holds into this bar? Guitar Pro, for some reason, will cut this note now like that. Make an arse out of me. Let's try it again then. I'll take the count off. We'll just have a count in. Unfortunately, like his loop isn't, the timing is pushing and pulling, so there's really kind of no way around this one. So I'll just press play on it so you can hear it. I guess I can play the chords behind it. We'll do that. Put the count on it. Okay. Obviously, I've put that up to the silly point, so let's turn it down. Play again. Hello? My piano just went. What's up with that? That's a new one. Let's try a different channel. Oh. Oh, okay, I see what's happened. That's all me. So, am I just going to stop there? Yeah, fuck it, I've been going for an hour. Let's play a little bit more and just talk about some things he's doing and see how those things kind of line up with the things that we've already looked at. So if we keep going, skip through this. I think I'll come back and do more of this stream during the week because it is a fun one. I definitely do want to do a bunch more of it. But yeah, it was really late and evidently no one's watching anymore. So let's just talk through it. You can see the volume pedal there. I like this part. Altered lick leading to the 4 chord. That's Lydian dominant over the 4 chord. Super high. It's one of those odd examples there of Guthrie playing a wrong note, but immediately correcting it. Let's see if we can just hear that Lydian dominant phrase. So this is altered. This note, ba, ba, da, 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 is going to be over our D flat. We're not going to be playing that natural 4th. This, we're going to be playing. I'll think about this. Playing D flat Lydian dominant. This is a really nice flavour. So we're going like A flat, playing all A flat majory sounds. So switch to this D flat and he plays this really beautiful. Me playing some piano. And hopefully you can hear those changes now. Like, obviously my weakness is playing chords in my left hand because I'm more organ player now, apparently. But we do want to be able to, we do kind of want to be able to do that. Like, could I look at these chords and go, and then we switch to our D flat and we want to go. We'll go, let's do... I appreciate that people appreciate the effort, but as you can see, this is more about me having a good time. I'm sitting and playing piano because it's fun to me. So yeah, hopefully that's inspired you. Hopefully it's inspired you to well, what am I trying to inspire you to do here? If we're really realistic, I want you to know that everything I've done here is doable. You can do everything I've done here. You just have to engage the ear, really listen to the thing, sing the thing. And what you'll hopefully see from this is the more you do that, the better you get at just hearing things and going, oh, I know what that is. That's Lydian dominant. You know, oh, I know what that is. He played an altered lick leading into the four chord. Your ear just gets better and better and better at picking that stuff up. And as I keep saying, like, I've learned to play a bit of piano in the last 2 years, but I'm not a piano player. But I can piece things together. You know, I can just play things, and it's because I'm letting my ear do the work. Sure, I have some knowledge of scales and things, and that obviously helps. But at its core, like, if you want to do things, if you want to learn to do something, go out and do it. I don't like the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Hate it. I'm going somewhere with this. But I know it has been a big inspiration on many, many people over the years. And if there's one thing that I can respect from it, it's that idea of don't dream it, be it. Don't dream it, be it. If you want to do this stuff, I'm not special. I'm not doing this stuff because you can't. I'm doing this stuff because I want to do it. If you guys want to do this stuff, you can go out and do this stuff. You can learn to transcribe. You can learn to play slides. You can learn to phrase like Guthrie. You can learn to play the piano. Check out the link to Pianote in the description if you want to learn to play the piano. Get a month's free trial on me. You can do all of these things. Mr. Morning there. Hi there, Mr. Morning there. Goodbye there, Mr. Morning there. You can do all these things, guys. If you want to do these things, you just have to stop dreaming it and start being it. So there you go. Lastly, I just want to say a huge thank you to all of my wonderful supporters over on Patreon. If you want to be like these awesome people here and get access to, well, this transcription, along with all of the other things that I upload, and if you want to get access to weekly guided ear training sessions or weekly guided practice routines, that is the place to do it. It's the best way to support my channel, and it's the thing that allows me to continue to keep doing music for you guys full time, rather than having to fit it in on around a 9-to-5 job, which would be hellish. You can also check out one of my books. I've got lots available. In fact, there's a new one coming out at the end of the month, so keep your eyes open for that. Aside from that, of course, you don't need to support the channel. That's fine too. You can just ask me questions and be here as a freeloader. That's absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. I won't treat you any differently. I'm more than happy if you have questions about things. If you need help with things, email me at any time. It's all very much appreciated. Thank you very much for the tip, Mike. It's very much appreciated. I hope you all have had a wonderful stream with me this evening. As I say, I'm going to do some more during the month because I would like to do more of this solo. So who knows when that'll be. It'll probably be maybe Tuesday night because I'm free on Tuesday nights. So yeah, we'll look to do that. So much love, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you for another stream soon.